Are you over 50 and looking to maximize your fitness and health for the rest of your life? If you are, then this video is going to be crucial for you. My name is Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties Specialist Physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to be revealing the science-backed best exercise regime for people over 50 who are looking to maintain their health, to look great, to feel great, and to be the fittest they've ever been. Now, before we dive into the content of the video, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can find the buttons to do that below. But let's have a talk about fitness and what we need to do as over 50s to improve fitness. Now, fitness is thought of as many different things by many different people. For some people, they want to look really good. For others, they just want to feel good. For others, they just want to have the energy to climb the stairs and not feel out of breath. Now, the fitness regime I'm going to share with you is going to take a little bit of effort, but that's because I'm giving you the absolute best that you could possibly have. So this is the fitness regime that would work for people in the absolute ideal world. Now, not everyone will be able to stick to this, but what you can do, don't feel like you failed if you can't do the whole thing. Just pick parts out from it if you prefer, and pick the bits that you most enjoy. So the caveat to this is fitness should be enjoyable. Exercise should feel good. It should feel like you're enjoying yourself. It shouldn't hurt. It should feel like you're making progress. And it should feel like it's the sort of thing you could do and you look forward to it at the start of the week. So that being said, let's have a look at the best exercise program out there. And the best exercise regime that I can recommend to you has 4 parts. So the first part is something to improve your strength and your muscle mass, which we'll talk about in just a second. The second part is something to improve your flexibility and mobility, so how well your body, the joints and the muscles actually work. The third part is to improve your cardiovascular health. And the fourth part is to make sure that your heart and your lungs are working as well as physically possible. So let's talk about the first part. And the first part is strength and muscle mass. So my recommendation for over 50s who want to improve their strength and their muscle mass is to do some kind of resistance training 3 to 5 times per week. Now, resistance training is basically moving your body against resistance. And the resistance could be weights in the gym, so it could be free weights or machine weights. It could be moving your body against your body weight. So it could be doing things like sit to stand or push-ups. And there's tons of different things that fall into the category of resistance training. Personally, I like to use the gym, so I like to pick up dumbbells and barbells. I have friends and people in my family who are over 50 who prefer to do press-ups and sit-ups. It's absolutely fine. They work just as well. The key here is to target all of the different muscle groups in the body. Okay, so we're looking to target our legs, we're looking to target our midriff, we're looking to target the lower back, we want the upper back, we want the arms, we want the shoulders, we want everything to be working, okay? And the way we do this is we split the resistance training up into different exercises. What I usually recommend to people is 3 to 5 exercise sessions a week, 3 to 5 exercises in each session, and 3 to 5 sets of each exercise when you do them. So that's quite an easy thing to remember. In terms of how many repetitions to do, you want to be doing anywhere between 6 repetitions and about 15 repetitions. These are the repetition ranges that have been shown to build the most muscle and to cause the most gains in your functional strength without risking injury. Now, in terms of how hard you should go, you should probably be working at somewhere between a 6 and an 8 out of 10 in terms of intensity. So intensity just describes how hard it is for you. So if you're pushing a weight, you've done 8, you get to the end of it and you think, I couldn't have done many more, that's probably an 8 out of 10. If you push and you physically can't do any more, that's a 10 out of 10, okay? And if you finish and there's no effects whatsoever, that's below a 5 out of 10, and you're not really going to improve doing that. So we want to be working somewhere between a 6 and an 8 out of 10, whatever feels comfortable for you. So that's the first part, and that will maintain muscle mass, which is amazing for over 50s health. It improves your bone density as well. It will help you with your heart health. Even though we're not training the cardiovascular system, we still get a benefit there as well. You are going to be less likely to fall. You're going to look great because you're going to have better muscle mass, and the list goes on and on. So that is the first and most important aspect of any regime for fitness for over 50s. Now, the second thing I would recommend is to do 5 to 10 minutes per day of flexibility and mobility work. Now, flexibility and mobility describe how well we can move our joints and how flexible our muscles are. And people who are more flexible within reason, and people who have better mobility, which is how well you can control your flexibility, almost always have less injuries, less arthritis, less problems later in life. This is why it's vital. Now, some people like to do very long, drawn-out stretching sessions and mobility sessions. And personally, if it was me, I just wouldn't be able to stick to it. I find it too boring. That's why I recommend to people that instead of doing one long session, they break it up throughout the week. 5 minutes a day is plenty to get an overall effect in flexibility and mobility. And the best time to do it could well be just before bed, because it helps to calm down the nervous system and helps us to sleep better. Now, in terms of what you should do a combination of stretches for the legs and the arms and the upper body. You should also try to take every joint in your body through its full range of motion one by one, starting with the hands, then you might work on the wrists, then you might work on the elbow, then you would work on the shoulder, the neck, the back, all the way down towards the ankle, and the list goes on and on. You might find when you do this that some areas are stiffer and tighter than others. These are the areas that you should pay special attention to. Now, don't do too much work on a painful joint. Be sure to get an assessment if you find an area that's painful. This shouldn't be used to treat something. It should just be used to maintain and improve mobility. Now, the third recommendation I have for the best exercise program is every over 50 should be doing ideally between 150 and 180 minutes per week of something we call zone 2 cardio. Now, zone 2 cardio is any type of cardiovascular exercise, so walking, jogging, cycling, swimming, they all count, that takes you to a point where you're a little bit out of breath, but you could still have a conversation if you wanted to. So for some people that might be a fast walk, so you should be at a point where you're puffing a little bit, but if someone's next to you, you can still carry a conversation. But if we asked you to do 10% more, you wouldn't be able to have a conversation. Okay, that is the perfect level. For most over 50s, that means your heart rate is going to be somewhere between the 100 and 150 beats per minute range. And that depends on your age and your fitness level. So the different exercises will be suitable for different people. Some people will just like to walk. Some people will have to jog to get themselves out of breath. Some people would like to swim. But the key here is it shouldn't be so hard that you're completely knackered by the end of it. It should feel like you're more energized than anything by the end of it. But it should still feel like you've had a bit of a workout. You're a bit puffed out. And this type of exercise done over long periods of time, so 150 to 180 minutes in a week, has been shown to improve the cardiovascular system, improve the lungs, and improve the efficiency of the whole body. Now, in terms of breaking it up, I would personally break it up into 4, maybe 5 sessions. If you break it up into 5 sessions, you could do 30 minutes each time. Some people like to do longer, so if they go for a swim, they might swim for an hour, but do less per week. All of these things count, okay? And these are just the types of exercise that keep you supple, keep you mobile, and keep you fit and maintain heart health. So those are the first 3. So we've got building strength and hypertrophy, which is size of the muscle, really important for overall health. We've got flexibility and mobility, and now we've got the 150 minutes of zone 2 cardio. So the nice sort of steady state, easy cardio. Now, the final thing, if we want to completely complete the overall rehab program, exercise program that's going to improve your fitness as much as possible, we need to challenge the heart a little bit more. That's why I recommend to the over 50s I speak to that they do 1 or 2 things each week that takes their heart rate up to its maximum level. Now, I'm going to caveat this by saying it's not going to be suitable for absolutely everyone. If you have a pre-existing heart problem or if you have other health problems, you should be very careful about doing this and you should take this advice with a pinch of salt. But for people with healthy hearts and healthy lungs and people who want to build their fitness even more, you have to take your heart rate up in order to improve it. Now, when I say taking your heart rate up to the maximum, what I mean is doing some kind of exercise that gets you very out of breath and sustaining it for just a short period of time, i.e. 30 seconds to a minute. So one protocol that I often use with clients is to get them onto a bike. They can cycle quite casually just to warm up for a few minutes, and then we put the resistance up a bit and they cycle as hard as they can for 30 seconds to a minute. Then that resistance comes back down. They do a nice slow cycle again just to cool down. And then we can put the resistance up again if they want to get to that heart rate maximum again, or they can stop there. Now, for best results, you want to repeat it a few times over. So you might just spend 5 or 10 minutes going up to your maximum and then back down again. One thing that works quite well is to do 30 seconds of hard exercise followed by 30 seconds of recovery or rest. And then repeat that a few times over. You should notice that you get sweaty, you get out of breath, your heart starts to race, but that is a good sign. That means that your exercise is taking your heart rate up to a healthy level. So those are the 4 things. If you can do that 2 times a week, that heart rate training, you're going to be way ahead of 99% of people combined with the other things. So we've got strength and hypertrophy training 3 to 5 times per week. We've got flexibility and mobility practice, 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day just before bed would be ideal. We've got 150 to 180 minutes per week of zone 2 cardio spread out however you want. And then finally, we've got taking your heart rate up to its maximum just once or twice a week, a few times over with regular breaks. That's all I've got for you today. If you follow that program, you are going to be ensuring that you've got the best heart health, the best body health, you've got the best muscles and the best joints. You'll be way ahead of 99% of people, and that's all the information you need to know about that. So I hope that's been useful. Please drop me a comment below if you decide to try the regime. Feel free to just pick parts out of it as well if you prefer. And if you want more information like this from me, please feel free to pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50 and you can find it on Amazon using the link below this video. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching and I look forward to speaking to you on the next episode.